Hi everyone. Oh shit, is this working? Um, so I am recording the intro now. I was gonna sit and edit and denoise the background of the podcast, but um, we'll find out because I'm about to do it right now. I don't think I'm gonna be able to, but I'm gonna try. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna try as if I don't spit in the fucking mic. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, ironically, even though I was just sitting in my car looking at a brick fucking wall, recording this podcast, but I wanted to do an intro before we got into the podcast. And so this podcast episode is kind of like all over the place. It's the first time I'm recording an episode. Honestly, gonna be the first time I've ever uploaded a podcast episode. But essentially I'm doing it to prove to myself that even when I want to throw up and never get out of fucking bed ever again, I can do something productive and, just set it off, and hopefully it's influential for people. And if it's not, then I'll just throw up and cry and try again later. But I really hope you guys enjoy it and get something value out of it. So again, like, this is gonna be on YouTube, it'll be clipped on Instagram. A little later, eventually, when I'm like not an existential drug, I'll be making a TikTok and probably other social media platforms specifically for this podcast, so you can share it with your friends on different apps, because I have friends that don't use specific apps, so I get it. But yeah, I hope you get anything useful out of this, whether it's just relatable, whatever the case may be. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. And I cannot believe I'm gonna fucking say this, but like and subscribe. And yeah, so again, I hope you enjoy the podcast, and I'm gonna keep repeating myself until I fucking stop. And yeah, stay tuned for the next episode where I actually stay on fucking topic. Okay. So I was feeling very overwhelmed. First of all, welcome to Girl It's a Podcast. So today I was feeling very overwhelmed because, life is just great, and I'm sitting here on my throne like a fucking princess with Prince Charming going out and doing all the work for me. And, I was feeling very overwhelmed, and I was like, okay, so let me cope and go take a drive, right? Because driving is like very, very grounding for me. Because you have to pay attention or you'll fucking die. So I was like, okay. And I took a little detour because I was being a menace, and a menace for reasons that I'm not going to mention here. But I was being a fucking menace, and then I got lost. So then I got scared. And then I had to fucking do a K-point turn and almost drop dead in the goddamn road because it was a fucking gravel road. And the road was not even. So I really thought I was going to have a fucking toozy and fled. So I ended up going back to where I keep looking around as if somebody's fucking here. I'm actually so dumb. So I ended up doing the turn, and then I went down, and then I went back down the road I came down, and finally made it, because I was like, okay, well, I'm feeling very fucking overwhelmed, I need to go for a drive, so I'm gonna go to Dunkin'. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Dunkin', I also just fucking forgot that commercial they fucking had, so please give me forgiveness. I forgot that was a fucking thing. But so I was like, okay, let me go to Dunkin'. And then I was like, what started that again was I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking live my life, I guess. Because, Prince Charming's out there getting everything for me, and I'm sitting here like a fucking princess. Um, that was sarcasm, by the way. I'm fighting for my fucking life. I feel like an Iraqi veteran living in this fucking world right now. Everything's falling apart. People are fucking crazy. People have no sense. People can't fucking read. Media literacy is out the fucking window. And we have a Muppet leading the country into fucking death. So, I was like, let me go to Dunkin'. There's a Dunkin' that's like 15 minutes from me. And I was like, no, let me go on a drive and let me go to the one that's like half an hour away. So I was like, okay, let me go. And then I like took the back road. I took the scenic route. And then everything I just said before. So I make it to Dunkin', and I'm like, okay, well, I had a suggestion that, I was like, oh, well, I keep wanting to make this fucking podcast. I keep wanting to like do this podcast, right? And I am like, I'm just sitting on my fucking ass and doing absolutely fucking nothing. And then I was like, for the past like week or 2 weeks, I've been really obsessed with this comedian. Her name is Jessica Kirson, sorry. And I've been obsessed with her. We have very similar senses of humor and stuff like, and this is like way before I even knew her, right? So we have like very similar sense of humor. Like we both do characters and impressions and shit. So, obviously like I got to know her from her crowd work, like many people do. And I just became really obsessed with her. Like she's so fucking funny. She's like one of the funniest fucking people alive. Like I swear to God, she's funnier than I am. And I'm really fucking funny. I was born on April Fool's Day. I was also conceived when my dad was trying to get a green card. So thanks, Dad. But so I've been, and then I've been obsessed with her. So I'm like, oh, like, so I just started watching, like, I've been searching fucking YouTube everywhere. I've been searching everywhere. Everywhere for, cause she would show up on podcasts and stuff. And I like her stand up. I'm just waiting for, like, a more, cause I know she just did a video and a vlog. I'm not a vlog person, so I won't watch the vlog. I mean, maybe I'll get around and watch it, because I love her. But, yeah, so I've been watching her on, going to these podcasts and stuff, and I'm like gagged because she like knows everybody. She knows like famous producers, she knows Ross Matthews. That's the one I was just listening to before I had a mental breakdown and wanted to go stuff my fucking face. And stuff, and I was like, shit, like what the fuck? Like, honestly, watching her podcast helped me a lot. And I know I'm not a podcast person. I'm really fucking not. But, listening to her, because she's funny. And I'm sorry, but not to sound like an asshole, but I'm very critical when it comes to comics. And some of them are just not funny to me. I mean, they might be funny to other people, but to me they're not. Not a lot of them. Jessica's one of them that's really funny. Bob the Drag Queen's really fucking funny. Trixie Mattel's very fucking funny to me. Mateo Lane is very fucking funny. I think I just said that. Nick Smith is very fucking funny. I know he's not a comic, but he might as well be a fucking comedian because he's hilarious. Kevin Hart is somewhat funny. Matt Rife is problematic and occasionally funny, like very occasionally, and just honestly really hot to look at. I would kiss him. I would. I would fuck him too. I don't care that he has a partner. She can join in if she wants to. But besides that, that's it. I am... Where the fuck was I? So, I'm currently sitting by Duncan, but I'm like in the corner because I had this suggestion. I'll circle back to the Jessica thing, but I had a suggestion. They were like, "Oh, well, if you're gonna go fucking have a mental breakdown at Duncan, um, why don't you just record a podcast there?" And I was like, you know what? Like, yeah, like, why not? I might as well just make this podcast my digital fucking journal, which circles perfect fucking segue back into Jessica. So, not saying that she uses her podcast as a digital journal, but um, she talks like, I mean, obviously, like, there's humor in it, right? Because she's a comic. A lot of the guests that she has on, like Rachel Feinstein, I think she's so fucking funny too. Um, they're what do you call it? Oh, and what's his fucking face? Uh, fuck. Chris DiStefano. There we go. I was like, what the fuck is his name? I would fuck him too. And I'm pretty sure he's free. I don't want to hear it. I will fly my ass to fucking Queens and fuck him. And if I get canceled for that, so be it. I don't fucking care. He's really funny. Where the fuck was I? Oh, so yeah, like, a lot of the, like, obviously it's really funny, right? But there's a lot, like, she does, like, especially in, Reasonably Sane, I think. I think it's Reasonably Sane. Especially in that, like, that podcast of hers, she talks about really deep things. And, like, the one with Ross Matthews, she was talking about, like, obviously, like, her, no, I don't want to say obviously, because some people may not know her, but, her father passed away a couple, like, 2 weeks into COVID. I can't believe fucking COVID was 5 years ago. That shit blows my fucking mind. But you know, so she was talking about that. Ross Matthews, his mother passed away, and they were talking, it was hard. I was tearing up, because one of my worst fears is, like, losing my mom, because I don't have my dad. So then it's like, if I lose my mom, well, my dad's not dead. He just got deported, and he's a really negligent piece of shit. But if I lose my mom, it's like I don't have anybody at that fucking point, but just me and my brothers. And, you know, so they were talking about really deep things. That's not, like, necessarily what, like, I'm talking about, but I wanted to, maybe that's what sparked the mental breakdown, was just hearing about that. And obviously, like, I was very sympathetic, because it's sad. But then it's like, I'm such an empath, I feel fucking everything. And I'm bipolar, so I literally cannot get my shit together. So I was like, okay, well, I am gonna go through with it. But she talks a lot about, like, deep things. Like, she talks about, like, how she's really paved the, and I truly believe it. Like, she really paved the way for female comics, in the field that they're in. And, you know, and then she also talks about, she's like, well, like, nobody, like, I'm tired of people telling me what I can and can't say. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want. And she's honestly so fucking real for that. Like, first of all, it's our constitutional right. Sorry. And two, it's like, when you're, you know, she's a woman, she's, you know, she loves other women, she's, you know, and she's Jewish. So it's like, obviously, like, when you're in a marginalized community, and she's in 3 of them, you know, being silenced is horrible. Whether, like, you recognize it's because of your identity or not. Like, it's horrible. And, you know, being a person of color, a queer person, I'm in a lot of marginalized fucking communities, too. And every time I would say something, or, like, it could be something absolutely not problematic. It could be something, like, really beneficial, and I would have, like, knives to my throat, fucking guns to my head, people basically telling me to shut up, people, you know, silencing me. And I mean, like, obviously, like, I still spoke about it, because I was like, bitch, like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I've never outwardly said it. Be like, no one's gonna fucking silence me. And honestly, like, that's so empowering. Like, no, nobody's gonna silence me. I went my whole fucking life, and my whole, especially my adolescent years, my teenage years, being silenced. Or being muffled. and not being heard and not being listened to. No, it's not fair to me, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of dancing around people's fucking shit. You can't handle it. That's not my fucking problem. Right? I am not going to feel sorry unless I said something intentional. Because, nobody's fucking perfect. So, like, if I unintentionally say something, or do something, and I'm not the kind of person to run out and say slurs and hate crime and, like, that's not what I'm talking about. But, like, if I say something that, like, might be tone deaf, because sometimes I do that, or, like, if I am, like, talking and, I often say things, depending on what I'm talking about, I often say things a lot with, a really strong, like, intonation. So a lot of the things I say can come across as very arrogant. And I'm not a very arrogant person. Imposter syndrome has me in a fucking chokehold. So I'm gonna be, like, I'm recording this on my phone, and if somebody fucking calls me and ruins this recording, I swear to fucking God, I will end this earth. So somebody better not fucking call me. But, so she was talking about that. She was also talking about that she had to, like, accept that she'll never be okay. And to stop, like, she stopped, like, unless she's feeling good, she stopped saying good. Because, like, I mean, like, and this is shit that I know, right? Like, so I'm, like, a linguist. I'm going to school. I'm about to get my master's in December, for applied linguistics. So, like, this is shit that I actively fucking know, right? But applying it versus having, like, the scientific knowledge is two different things. So it's like, I already knew this shit. Like, I already knew it. But, like, her just being like, you know what, like, I have to accept that I'm not okay. And I'll never be okay. And she's right. Like, I have a lot of chronic issues. And, like, I'm never gonna be okay. And, my definition of okay is, like, what's just basically kind of just aligns with society, right? Like, fitting with society's norms, fitting with other, society's norms, fitting with, like, whatever, like, the fucking baseline. And I'm not gonna be that. I can't cure my chronic illnesses, and my chronic issues. Like, there's no, I mean, obviously, like, I can work on them, and, hope, like, maybe they'll go into remission or whatever, but I will never fucking cure them. And I have to be okay with that. Like, I have to be okay and accept that, unfortunately, I have these problems that will never go away until the day that I die. And, like, and I know it's like, okay, well, how do you fucking, right? Like, hello? It's like the curse. I'm like seeing shit. It's like the curse of being so hypervigilant and so analytical, and I swear to fucking God, I don't know what the fuck's happening. I feel like I'm on acid because I'm literally seeing shit. But it's like the sad, it's a sad reality of, like, unfortunately, I have these problems. And it's like, I can't fucking fix it. I can't go in the past and change anything. I can't, and I feel like a lot of fucking people need to, like, that's something they need to accept. And, being hyper aware and hyper self-aware and hyper vigilant and stuff is such a double-edged sword. And I think in some of her podcasts, she, like, or, like, when she was on other podcasts, she, like, briefly talked about it. But it's so bad. It's such a curse. Of, like, no, like, I know the steps I have to take. I know the problem. I know what caused it. But getting myself to do it is the issue. And part of it was this fucking podcast. This episode. Because I'm like, oh, like, I'm too, like, oh my God, like, I need to make a Facebook page, I need to do this, like, I'm too stuck in the fucking thinking and not doing anything. Or, what I'll do is, I'll record it, and then I'll be like, oh my God, like, I have to go back and listen to it and edit it. No. Like, I am literally doing this this fucking podcast, and I'm not editing it. The only thing I'm really gonna put is an intro and maybe an outro. And that's it. Like, I'm not, like, because if I fucking sit there and do it, I'm not gonna publish it. And maybe, like, for all I fucking know, somebody can, like, obviously I don't have a following like Jessica. So, like, obviously, like, people are gonna have to stumble on this, or, like, my friends and family are gonna listen to it, whatever the case may be. But, hopefully, like, this podcast series will help people and shit. Because I've always had, I know I love how I'm going on a tangent, but, I've always had this, like, obviously, like, a lot, like, I'm 24, so a lot of people my age, right? Not even just people I grew up around, but people, like, nationwide is on your side. But nationwide, there's a lot, like, Court Reezy. She's also really fucking funny. She's not a comedian, but she's a YouTuber. And if you hear me crinkling things, it's my fat ass eating, digging, food out. Okay, well, I'm not digging food. You know what? I'm not even gonna eat this right now. Digging food out of my fucking bag that I just decided I'm not gonna eat right now. Like, she also said it, and I think she's only 2 or 3 years older than me. But she also said it, like, a lot of people my age wanted to be influencers. I don't know why, because, like, when I wanted to be a YouTuber in, like, 2012, so I was 11, and at that point there were not many, like, now there's, like, a shit ton of fucking influencers, whether that's, like, from all kinds of social media. Like, there's even Facebook influencers, which fucking sends me. But, there was influencers on Vine, Twitter, everywhere, like, on lots of social media platforms, Snapchat, you know what I mean? So, like, a lot of these platforms. Now, but back then, there weren't a lot. I mean, like, there was Tyler Oakley, Jenna Marbles, Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, there was probably a lot. PewDiePie was really big in 2012. I mean, still is kind of pretty big. Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, I think. There weren't a lot. Like, I feel like I just named a lot, but, like, that's literally, like, under a dozen. There weren't a lot of really big, like, Joey Graceffa was another one. I don't know if he was super big, though. Gabby Hanna with her psychotic fucking ass. Rice Gum. Niga Higa. I'm black, so if, don't come after me. But, oh, and, like, Vanoss Gaming, like, they exist, like, these people, I'm over here, like, I'm, like, there's not a lot, and I'm, like, keep listening more. A lot of them came really, like, some of them came after 2012, though, but at the time, there weren't a lot. And these people that did YouTube, like, they did it as a hobby, like, they had day jobs, and stuff. And a lot of influencers now have day jobs. But the difference is that, like, you can go viral now and, like, jumpstart a fucking career as an influencer. Back then, you had to like, work your way up and do it as a hobby and stuff. And I mean, like, a lot of these people are older than me. Like, they're in their 30s and stuff. But, so, they did it as a hobby, and then eventually became a career and stuff. And, I was like, oh, I want to do it. And I used to, like, upload, like, if you know Littlest Pet Shop, I should have known. Like, bitch, I was ready to suck a fucking grapefruit. But I used to do, like, Littlest Pet Shop videos and stuff, and other, like, skit videos and stuff on YouTube in 2012 with my mom's phone. It was weird because, like, I'm like older Gen Z, so I was, like, born in a time where, like, smartphones were, like, barely fucking existent, and they were incredibly fucking ass. So, like, I'm literally older than YouTube. YouTube came out in 2005. I was born in 2001. So, and, what do you call it? Yeah, so I uploaded a bunch of videos and stuff. and then I stopped, and then I got old, like, that was, like, when I was, like, 11 or 12, and then, um, like, I got older. I think it was more so when I was 11. I was, like, 10 or 11, because I didn't start uploading videos on my channel until I was, I think 13, because I think it was 2014. 2014 was such a good year for me. And I would upload, like, I forgot what the fucking website is, but it was, like, you could make, like, people did edits with, like, MapleStory characters and stuff, but it wasn't on the game MapleStory, it was, like, through a simulator. I just can't remember what the fucking website was. Which is funny because I play another thnx game, but I used to do that. I used to do, I think I did, like, anime not lyric videos, but you just upload the music or whatever. I did, like, really shitty edits, and I didn't have an editing software, so I would use Screencast-O-Matic, because, like, Windows EXP, or not EXP, XP, was, like, the operating system. So I used Screencast-O-Matic, and then would, like, pause the video, and, like, skip to, like, another clip, like, whatever. It was so stupid. I have one of them up. It was literally the shittiest fucking thing ever. Or I would use, like, and then it became, like, Windows 7. And then I think Windows 7 had its own editing software. So I would use Windows 7. I would use Windows 7 to, excuse me, I'm dying, to edit the clips together and stuff. And then I kind of, like, stopped, and then I helped, like, an old friend, like, we would do skits or whatever. She would upload multiple fucking, like, she gained a lot of traction from, like, Your Turn to Die, which is hard. I cannot with those games. I cannot even with the fandom. I have so much fucking trauma from dealing with the people of that, like, I can't. But, and Danganronpa, excuse me, I'm fucking dying. And stuff like that. So, and then I got older, cause that was, like, what, 2014? That was, like, when I was a freshman in high school. And I kind of did that, somewhat through high school with her. I didn't really upload too much at the time, at least not that I can remember. A lot of my uploads came from when I was in middle school. But high school, I was, like, really fucking depressed and wanted to kill myself. So I didn't do shit, but go, like, mannequin inside the fucking library. And then I turned 18. 2019 was a horrific, I am gonna make a whole podcast episode about that year itself, because that year was fucking horrendous. But I graduated in 2019 from high school. And then I was a freshman in college that fall. And then COVID happened. Like, I was a freshman. I had one full semester and half a semester, and then I got shoved home. But I was an essential worker because I worked at Walmart, so I still had to fucking work. And that, like, almost got me kicked out of fucking school. Like, that was ridiculous. That was fucking insane. Because I was working nearly full fucking time. Even before COVID, I was like, I would wake up at like 6, 7 o'clock, and then I would have to go, because I went to a community college first. And the community college that I went to didn't have dorms. By the way, in New York State, there's not a lot of community colleges that have dorms. So, I had, like, my mom had to, because I didn't have a car. I didn't even have a license at that point. I just got my permit at 17, and then 2 months later I turned 18. So, like, my mom would have to drive me to class. So I would go to class from, like, 8 in the morning till, like, 1 p.m. And then my mom would pick me up. I would have to, like, we would have to go home. I would have to quickly fucking change. And then from 2 to 11, I would work. And then I would get home, and because, like, obviously, like, when you're physically active for 8 hours, because I worked the truck. I didn't do no cashier. I worked the truck and I stocked. So I was on my feet and my hands. Like, I was doing a lot of manual labor. And for some people, like, that wires you. So I was wired. Clearly. So I wouldn't go to sleep till like 12. Like, I would get out at 11 and I wouldn't get home till like 11:20. And then, I would have to like eat, shower, because I wouldn't eat dinner because my lunchtime was dinner time. So I would eat like a little bit and then, so I would eat, shower, do some homework or whatever. And so like sometimes I wouldn't go to sleep till like, midnight or 1 o'clock, sometimes even two in the morning, and then I would have to do it all over again. So that shit fucking killed me. And then during COVID, I had to do it. I had online classes during the day because they were synchronous. So I didn't have any asynchronous classes. So I had to attend Zoom and stuff. So I was really busy. And that was like when I was in my like productivity era during COVID, because I was like, oh my god. But like, unlike a lot of people during COVID, a lot of people that I see online and a lot of people that I know, I didn't stay home. There was no home. I wanted to, but I didn't know how unemployment worked. Like, I didn't know how any of that fucking worked. And I was an essential worker. So I had to work. I'm telling you, if I didn't have to work and I just did school and I was like on unemployment because of COVID, I guarantee you I would have been an influencer. Because I would have spent my time doing that, but I didn't. I was like so busy. I would spend all day fucking doing classes. Then I would spend all night working. Like, it was insane. A lot of people got their careers during COVID because it was lockdown. And a lot of people couldn't like fucking leave and, whatever. But I, unfortunately, couldn't. Right? So I don't even think I uploaded in 2020 or 2021. And then because I ended up leaving Walmart in August of 2021, so I worked there for 3 years. And then I moved away to college. I transferred to college, so I moved away to get my bachelor's. And then there were still COVID things. At that, like, I kind of like during like my first semester away, I kind of like didn't really worry about uploading because I was like with new people. I was with a shit ton of people. I lived in the dorms, and stuff. So I was with so many people and I was too busy socializing, and then I was like, even though I was out working, I was working with the same fucking people for 3 years. So it was like, I wanted to be social and stuff. Like, I was somewhere where I felt like I could be a college kid because during COVID, I felt, I was like the breadwinner, so I had to help my mom a lot, and then I had to work. I worked with people older than me, and then I had to deal with like abuse, fucking harassment. It was ridiculous, and so I couldn't feel like a college kid. And like when you're a quote unquote traditional student, so like somebody who's like goes right into college after high school, in a community college, it doesn't feel the same as when you do it at a 4-year institution. So I still felt like an adult because I had classes with non-traditional students. So, I finally felt like a college kid at 20, technically, because I moved, I didn't turn 21 until 22. But, that first year, I worked food, and that's when I worked food service, and I fucking hated it, because all these frat men, I swear to fucking God, would come back drunk, and I would work at night, and I would work in the deli, so I'd make them sandwiches and shit. They would come back drunk as fuck, flying out of the fucking bus, and then they would come hit on me, and I'm like, girl, like, what the fuck is happening? They'd be like, oh, let me walk you back home. I was like, my fucking dorm is right there. Because I, like, the market was on campus. So I was like, my dorm is right fucking there. Like, I don't need, and he was like, I'll just wait for you. Like, what do you, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, sir, I'm trying to make a fucking sub. I'm trying to make you food, and I'm trying not to eat the food my fucking self. So I need you to get the fuck away from me. And stuff. So like because of like all that, I didn't have the urge to upload or anything. I didn't even upload on TikTok. Because I wasn't on TikTok throughout. Oh no, I was. I was on TikTok during COVID. Using it. I think I started really using TikTok at the end of 2020. And I wasn't on it like crazily because I was like ill. But I used it a lot. And I didn't really stop uploading on TikTok until the summer of 22. Because I finished my junior year and I was working on campus for maintenance. But there was like this I think it was like 2 to 3 weeks. I think it was 2.5 weeks period where there was no classes. So I lived on campus doing absolutely nothing for 2.5 weeks. So like I would watch YouTube like Tippy and stuff, and I would like upload clips on TikTok and whatever. So and then that summer I was working nonstop, so I didn't really post anything. I didn't really upload anything. And then I went from that, and then I became an RA. And then I worked like 10 fucking jobs. So like my senior year, I also graduated 2 years early because I technically wasn't supposed to graduate until like, I think 3 semesters after I did. But because my associate's degree is not in the same field as my, bachelor's degree. So, I was jacked up on classes. So I was a Spanish major. And because I fell in love with, I grew up speaking it because I'm from the city, I'm Puerto Rican, and shit like that. So I grew up like speaking like Spanglish. So like when I moved up state, around a bunch of white people, I wanted to feel connected. So I took it in junior high to a senior in high school, and then I couldn't take it in my community college because I took the highest level. And stuff. So I was a Spanish major, so I was taking classes in Spanish. I was taking classes in French, because I took French in high school too, French and Spanish. I was taking classes in Mandarin, and then I had a class in English. And then the following semester I did classes in Spanish, French, and Italian, and then kept cycling it, right? Throughout because I think I took the spring of 22, I think I took my first Italian class. And then I took my second Italian class, my final semester. So, yeah, I was like, and then as in, like, I don't know, maybe the listeners know. But, like, when you're an RA, like, you do a lot. So I was an RA, I was a peer, like, on top of my classes, so I was an RA, I was a peer study consultant at the Learning Center, I was a peer tutor, I was a night host, I worked for IT, so that's 5 jobs, I was an office assistant, so that's 6, I think that's it. I think I only did 6. Sometimes I forget because I'll be like, oh my god, I worked 10 jobs. So I worked 6. Unless I'm forgetting one. I did 6 on top of my classes. No, I think technically when I was working there, I worked a max of 10. But when I was a senior, during the academic year, I only did 6. So, 6 jobs on top of, I took 5 classes a semester. And, that's a lot of fucking time. And as an RA, you have to be on duty and respond to call. It was a lot. So I didn't have time. I would upload clips of me singing. Because I started, I developed a coping skill of singing during COVID. And then, I would sing a lot, and apparently people loved me. I was like listening to some of the clips then. I was ass. So these people really were just like kissing my ass because I sounded like shit. Um, but they were like, "Oh my god, I love it," and I was like, "I'm so good." And then I just kept singing because apparently, I'm a songbird. I still sing now, but it was mainly on TikTok. I uploaded singing videos. I took them down because they're embarrassing. Um, and stuff. So, there was that, and then I graduated with my bachelor's in 2023. And then after that, I kind of came home relaxed and didn't really upload because I was like fucking exhausted. Because I worked for 2 years straight. I was fucking tired. And then my dog died. Like, my dog died my senior year. My dog, I had her, I think, for 12 years. Like, it was fucking insane. I was really going through it. And then I had to go to the emergency room because I was having an issue with my chest. It was, I was a fucking, all of it. And I still, literally, so I graduated, to graduate with Latin, like, the minimum requirement for Latin honors is 3.5. I graduated with a 3.47. Do you know how fucking pissed I was? I was like, you couldn't round it up and just give me a fucking 3.5? So I could have graduated cum laude? Whatever. Close enough. So and by the way, like, when I almost got kicked out of community college, my GPA was 1.2. So I graduated, and then I worked for EOP. So EOP is it's the office of AOP, so Accessibility Opportunity Program. But EOP stands for Employment Opportunity or Equity or Equal, I forget. But I work for them because they have a lot of SUNY schools, so schools in New York, public schools in New York State, have summer academy, which is like when EOP students in high school, the students that qualify for EOP, and for this institution was AOP. So like there was also ACE. ACE at the time wasn't a program yet, but there was ACE Camp. So camp is for students of migrant workers, and EOP. So those two programs, any student in New York State who qualified for the program and could apply to the school through that program and attend, like they had the option to attend, I think it was optional, to attend summer academy, which is like, it's like a free trial of college, and the classes that you take in summer academy, you get, I think it was one college credit, and I think they took 4 classes. So they have four, that's one class, college class for like like that before you even enter college. And that's not talking about like AP classes or college classes you took in high school. So like it's a really good thing. A lot of the kids came from the city. And that program was it was really intensive. It was 5 fucking weeks. I spent like 14, 15, 16 hours a day for 5 weeks straight working. I loved it though. This sounds really dramatic. I really did love it. I have some teaching experience. I was a teaching assistant, and I taught a composition class too. So like you had like the professor and then you had the tutor teaching a class. So I taught a class as well. A class of 22. And I really loved it. It was really intensive. So like during that time, that's also like when I went through my first like really intense situationship. I had one the summer before that, which I literally loved that man to death. And unfortunately, if he wasn't grieving a previous relationship, I would have backed him. That would have been my man. But, so that summer was really impactful and stuff. So, unfortunately, I was applying to be an RD. So an RD is a residence director, a resident hall director. And they're like the supervisor of the RAs. So I really wanted to be an RD. I was really inspired. I worked under my RD as an RA to be an RD. And stuff. So, unfortunately, I did not get any position I applied for. But what the positive thing that came from that is that I was able to really focus on my master's degree. So, I started my master's degree in the fall of 2023. So I was like unemployed. I didn't qualify for unemployment because I ironically didn't fucking make enough, even though I was busting my ass. Um, is it gonna rain? I've been sitting here for a fucking hour. I've been gone. It is almost 4 o'clock. I've been gone from my house. So I left, I think, at like 1:30. So it's almost been 3 hours. I low-key needed it though. But this episode's gonna be long as fuck. Um, but what I went on a whole tangent. It's okay. Um, but so obviously in that program, like I didn't have time to upload. I really wanted to, but I couldn't. But after that, so I started my master's program in the fall of 2023. So that whole time I was unemployed. I had a lot of time, but I only because my program you could only take 2 classes because of how much reading there is, um, and stuff. So I would play Overwatch. That account I played on got banned because people don't know how to act, and I retaliated. Um, but I played Overwatch and I would upload Overwatch clips. So it would be like montages. It would be like me getting a kill. It would be a meme video. So on my gaming channel, I think one of the highest viewed videos is me playing Widowmaker, and it's literally a meme video. I think it was like 1.3k viewers, which to me is a lot. Like that's like okay. There's gonna be this one wise ass. It's like that doesn't mean it was 103. Fucking goddamn it, 1,300 fucking people, right? I know that. Shut up. So but in my head, right, that's still a big. So even if it's not like 1,300 people, that's over 100. Over 100 people. Over 100. A classroom, Kenny. That's an auditorium. Like in a college that can sit 150 people. That's a whole that's at least 150. That's a lot of fucking people. So I was like, oh, and my drink is fucking melting because I'm literally not drinking it. Um, so I was like, oh my god. But I'm a fucking perfectionist. So I'm like, oh my god, and I'm a really high achiever. It's what happens when you're the youngest, and the person that has to keep breaking fucking generational curses. So that whole year, like for that almost whole year, for 2023, I uploaded. I think until like April of 2024, until I turned 23, because I was 22. I didn't upload consistently like I wanted to, but I uploaded more than I ever have. And then it kind of slowed down. There was a traumatic incident. I had a family incident. My friend, so most of my friends were still in college at that point. They graduated in May of 24. So I would visit them. One of my friends, unfortunately, like, broke his ankle/leg where the break was. And he's a dancer, so it was fucking traumatic. People were not being very kind to him and shit. So, like, there was that. I had a family issue with mental health related. I am not gonna say it out of privacy, but you can put two and two together. But it wasn't me. It was another family member. But so I had that, so I was under a lot of stress, on top of classes, on top of I was like, okay, I'm gonna get starting January, I was gonna apply for jobs, I was gonna give myself those 6 months to relax. My voice cracked, sorry, so I sounded like Kermit, but and yada yada yada. So in that time I was like, oh well, I'm not looking for a job right now, this is my mini vacation, whatever. So I uploaded a lot. And then when those things started happening, I kind of stopped. I did a little bit, I stopped. I started applying for RD positions again. I didn't get it. I didn't get any of them. Unfortunately. And, I was struggling because I was like, I really want my fucking car, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, you know what, whatever. Whatever happens, whatever. And then it comes August, right? So I'm like, oh shit. Literally a year ago. And then I get a call from an institution. I got offered an RD position, and I worked there until April of this year. And then they pulled my fucking contract. A different story for a different time that I may or may not talk about. We'll find out. And then I had COVID again. So when I was working as an RD, I didn't have time to upload. So my uploading stopped. there, like, a life unfortunately really took a lot of it. So I didn't have an opportunity to like really sit there and consistently upload. I'm also a perfectionist, and I struggle with consistent. The only fucking thing I've been consistent at has been college. I've been to school for 20 fucking years. 20 years out of 4 fucking years. 20 out of 4. Bitch, I can't do math. 20 out of 24 years of my fucking life, I've been in school. Um, and I've been consistently in therapy, with one minor break since 2020. So for 5 years. And obviously psychiatry since, I was 14. So, those are like the 3 only consistent fucking things I've ever done in my life. Um, and, so I was just ranting about it today, because I was like, again, circling back to Jessica Curson, I was like, I was really inspired. I've been wanting to do a podcast for like 2 years now, and be an influencer and do all this other shit, and I haven't, because I'm like, oh my god, I'm a perfectionist. Literally, all I'm gonna do is create a YouTube channel, create the logo on Canva, and put the audio behind the logo, and really just upload it. And if somebody fucking listens to it, they do. If they don't, they don't. And do it on YouTube, not YouTube. Do it on Instagram, and maybe put like fucking Subway Surfers, because apparently people don't have a fucking brain cell to pay attention, um, and stuff. And do that, because I was like, you know what, let me just do it, because what am I gonna do, swallow in my fucking productivity? Like, this is fucking insane. So I was like, okay, let me just fucking do it, um, and get it over with. Because it's like, okay, you're fucking stupid. And by the way, I published a whole fucking poetry collection last year. It's been 1 full year. And so, like, that, many people can't do that. So I can fucking sit here and record a podcast and upload it. I published a book. And I'm over here like fucking crying wolf. Like, hello? I love how I didn't fully even get to why I love Jessica Person. That'll be for the next episode. Um, but yeah, so anyway, circling back to 50 fucking minutes ago, um, I came to Dunkin' and I parked in the fucking shade again to record this podcast. So I'm walking towards, Dunkin', because like it's off like it's in a plaza, so I parked on the side of the plaza. So I was walking towards Dunkin', and, um, I'm like, I was like, oh my god, because I'm literally wearing a Dragon Ball t-shirt, and, what is it, AMD1 shorts, which I think is Shaquille O'Neal, and slippers, so I look like a fucking uncle. And I'm like, oh, like, so I walk around the corner, right, so I'm like, oh my god, I look like a fucking bum, compared to everyone around me, right? So I was like, oh my god, like I look like a fucking bum. And I was like, you know what? I don't care about looking like a bum. And so I turn the corner and I see a homeless man on the like laying there, and I was like, first of all, this like where I am, you don't often see homeless people here. Like you'll see them in like they're in like 20 minutes from like where I am right now. There's like a city, so like you'll see them there. Like this is a fucking small ass town. So I turned around the corner and I was like, yeah, I don't care about looking like a bum. And I'm like speaking out loud. And I see this man, homeless man, laying there on the floor. And I look, and then in my head I was like, well, speaking of a bum, there was no judgment in that, by the way. I don't judge homeless people. But it was just a fucking, like, it was just really ironic how I said that and then there was one right there. Or if you want to be politically correct, a person in between housing situations. But, it is fucking freezing, and I am turning off my thing because I'm about to roll my windows down and drive. But, so I turn around, and then he's like staring me down, and I'm in New York. I'm from New York, right? So I'm like looking ahead. I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at? And so I was like, don't fucking get up. And I'm like low key paranoid and really anxious. So I was like, don't fucking get up. I was like, please don't get up. Please don't, because I will fucking kill myself or I'll kill you. One of the two. And so I like ran to McDonald's fucking Duncan, right? And then somebody I knew was in there, and then she was acting all weird. And I was like, I just pretended I didn't recognize her. I was like, what the fuck? She's acting like a fucking weird. I'm like, bitch, give me my fucking glazed donut and my pumpkin spice latte, because apparently I'm a white girl from Long Island. Um, I'm not from Long Island, by the way. Um, give it to me. Stop being a fucking weirdo. Give it to me. And then this bitch is like, she like pulls somebody aside that's working there. She's like, talk, like, and I'm like, girl, you're not room to talk. Your sister literally was trying to force people to do heroin, and also like is from a racist family, but then was trying, like, at 20 was trying to date a 30-year-old fucking Venezuelan man that like was in the cartel. Whatever. I was like, you have no room to talk. All you do is smoke pot and hate your fucking life. Please don't play with me. So I'm like, whatever. So then I grab my food and I walk back, and then the fucking homeless guy is staring at me again. I was like, if you try, I was like, the way I'm feeling right now, if you get up and try to fucking take this food from me and take my fucking latte, my donut, and my fucking bacon, I'll kill you. I was like, because he was like getting ready to get up, and I was like, I will fuck you up. I looked at him and I was like, don't. I shook my head. I was like, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. Because I'll kill you. I would like, and I'm a big person. I'm 6 foot and I'm fucking built like a linebacker. I will fucking put you out. Do not take my goddamn fucking Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm big. Like, I'm not a skinny person either. I'm fat. So I'm like, bitch, not only will you deal with my mental illness, you don't ever take food from a fucking fat person. You see I'm not 600 pounds, but my 600-pound life, bitch, you literally see these people trying to take fucking food away from them and how aggressive and how, like, emotional these people get. Bitch, I'm already emotional and I'm already to fucking fuck my mouth with this goddamn food. If you take this shit from me, I will snatch the air out of your fucking lungs. Don't play with me. So I looked at him and I was like, don't do it. Shook my head. I was like, absolutely the fuck not. And he like just sat there and I was like, okay, bye. And then I ran my ass into my car and started recording. So this is where I am now. I feel so much better. I cannot wait. I'm really gonna record an episode solely on Jessica Curson. And I hope she fucking sees it. And I'm gonna send it to her on Instagram. And I hope she reads it. Because I love her. I love her with all of my fucking heart. I would love to meet her. Love to talk to her. And it's really funny because she's like, I don't know why people love to meet me. And that's me. That's me. I'm like, bitch, I don't know why people like me so much. But and I know she's probably going to be like, girl, what the fuck is your problem? And I'm going to be like, I literally love you so fucking much. Like, you're so funny. I'm really inspired by you. You know, we think we're very similar in thought. She also reminds me of, like, one of my family members. But I love her so fucking much. I would love to meet her. I want to meet Mateo Lane and Nick Smith. Bob the drag queen, Trixie. And I don't watch Drag Race. It's just not for me. I grew up kind of watching it because my mom watches it, but, not for me. But I really love Bob the drag queen and Trixie and Katya, and RuPaul. I don't know if I would ever meet RuPaul though. I feel like if I ever met RuPaul, I would fucking shit my pants, and that bitch will have to give me a wig. But yeah, so so I'll make a whole episode really more talking about her because the recording is about to be an hour, and I'll shit my fucking pants if this shit doesn't upload, and you know I have to airdrop it to my MacBook. So, and I have to go home because it's about to be 4 o'clock, and my mom is about to get home in like 2 hours. So, thanks for listening, and see you next time.